I've got a really important story today that you probably are not going to read anyplace else unless you're a total geek, like me and my staff. The G20 met earlier this month in India, and, love it. Couldn't get enough of that G20 news. This is probably the biggest meeting for global economic superpowers that occurs every year. Russia and China did not attend, so the U.S. and India took a larger role in the G20 meetings. And at this year's event, the G20 produced a statement called the G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration. Now, when I first read that, I thought, New Delhi? Where's a New Delhi? I love Delhis. And then I realized they were talking about India, so I lost interest for a while. In it, the G20 published a rough outline of its policy plans and priorities for member nations. Now, keep in mind, these are the priorities that the countries agreed on. And it's a general consensus on the declaration. The reason why the New Delhi Declaration is important is because it provides an exceptional look into the globalist Great Reset playbook for next year and longer. And all of this is leading to the all incredibly important United Nations meeting in September called Summit for the Future, where a new international pact will be formally approved. Now, this is them showing their cards. All we have to do is look at them and take them seriously. So what's in the declaration? Well, it's to say it's radical is kind of an understatement. It's the Great Reset on steroids. It's 37 pages long. Our guys got our declaration done in one page. If you can't do it in one page, really can't be done, It's 37 pages long, each page containing a numerous bullet point agenda item for creating the Nouvel Order. There are literally hundreds of points in the document, so I mean, you don't expect me to go through all of them, do you? I mean, on my own, I would never inflict that on you, but please don't make me do that. Here are just some of the highlights. Point number 1, an international commitment to dramatically scale back the use of private and public lands. Yeah. The G20 is committed to restoring, by 2030, at least 30% of all degraded ecosystems and scaling up the efforts to achieve land degradation neutrality. So, that means is, have you degraded your land, Pat?
Yes.
Yes, you have. You have.
I have.
There's cement on it and a house and
right. Yes.
People.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to reduce that a little bit. Now, number 2, a commitment to halt and reverse biodiversity loss by 2030. Now, I have been up at night, every night, thinking about the loss of biodiversity.
I think we all have.
Sure we have. This would mean not only the end of land development, but also the return of land that's currently occupied by humans to nature. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like all land that's currently occupied by humans?
Not all, but
okay.
30%.
Oh.
30% of the land needs to be,
returned.
Get out of here. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to do anything with it. They're just going to return it to its natural utopian, Garden of Eden state, I'm sure.
Okay.
And I don't know how we're going to feed the world's hungry, when we return 30% just back to nature. But this is what we warned about in Dark Future. In fact, I wouldn't mind just calling these the top 10 things that we told you about in Dark Future that are now happening. All right. So number 3 is a plan for international governance for AI. According to the document, member nations should ensure that AI is developed responsibly, which means, among other things, designers take ethics and biases into account. So in other words, we hate conservatives. Let's put that into the machine. It'd be good for the elites, and it would be good for us, too, if we just had the same understanding of ethics and biases, but we don't. This is a way for them to use AI now globally to promote ESG, DEI, and other social justice. Furthermore, the nation's committing to promoting AI that is designed to accomplish the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Yeah. So we got those 17 sustainable goals, the foundation of the Great Reset, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, and nearly every other agenda these globalists have. Now, number 4, again, we predicted that. The fourth thing we predicted in Dark Future, expanding the international tax system and building publicly regulated, controllable digital public infrastructure.
Finally.
Haven't we been saying that?
Oh.
If I could just pay a global tax.
The late 40s, I think, is when we started saying that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We weren't even kids back then. No, we were 20 years away from being kids, but we knew that's what we wanted. Unfortunately, I had a lapse of sanity, and in Dark Future, I said this was bad and warned against it. Number 6, things we predicted in Dark Future. Additional regulations for cryptocurrencies. So we can get those right out of, we don't want any cryptocurrency. Well, we want central digital banking currency. That would be really, really good. 7th thing we predicted in Dark Future, a goal of increasing social protection programs like universal health care and implementing policies to make Social Security benefits portable between nations. So, wow. So we could continue what we're doing in Ukraine, and probably Iran. In Ukraine, you just pay everybody's Social Security. Number 8, enhancing the power of the World Health Organization in future pandemics and public health emergencies.
What a dream come true that'll be, huh?
9th thing we predicted that has now come true in Dark Future, trillions in new climate-related spending programs. Now, who do you think is going to... who has the printing press? Who can do that? Yeah. 10, additional collaboration and research for introduction and adoption of central bank digital currencies. But remember, that is nothing more than nobody? It's a conspiracy theory. My gosh. This is the beginning of Dark Future. I wanted you to know, if you haven't read Dark Future, you need to read it. It is happening, and it is happening faster than you can imagine. This whole ESG thing, it's not over. It's just been renamed. That's it. And they're destroying people like Russell Brand. They're destroying him. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't do something bad in the early 2000s. I don't know. He was a dirtbag. He said he was a dirtbag. So I don't know.
Said it was all consensual, though.
Right. And he hasn't, I don't even think he's been charged yet. And if he is even charged. So we don't know, but they are destroying him.
Every form, every platform, and every form of income he has is being taken away.
Have you ever heard of Parliament passing something and reaching out to Elon Musk at Twitter because he won't ban him? Everybody else is banning him because, they're under the ESG thumb. Elon Musk won't do it. So Parliament reached out and said, Twitter, you're going to have a problem in England if you don't follow the rules here.
Wow.
That is...
Chilling.
Chilling.
Yeah.
Chilling.
When the guy hasn't been found guilty of anything.
No. And I'm not saying he's
I mean,
innocent.
he might be, but he might be guilty. But
Right.
you can't.
I've never seen this before.
Yeah, it's
never. And the reason why is because he was a very effective voice on ESG in Europe. Very, very effective voice. And you can't have that. Can't have that. So they tried to call him a conspiracy theory and everything else. Nothing stopped him. So now this is going to stop him.
Wow.
It's terrifying. And that's not all that's happening. I'll get into that here in a second. I want to also talk to you about Bidenomics. And remember,
how well it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really working well. That and the border.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Really well.
Shut down.
Yeah.
Shut down.
And Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
That is working really.
Money well spent.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen. And, he reduced the deficit, too. So,
yeah.
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 So we
Bring
got
down
that.
inflation.
It's brought it way down. Way down.